Welcome to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast, where we dive deep into the home gym scene. Each week, we put out Sunday surveys where you tell us your thoughts on products, builds, and all things home gym related. We're here to break down the numbers and to talk shop. So thanks for listening, and let's get started. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. I'm Adam, back again with the man with the numbers. That's Jake, and this week is a specialty bar episode. Do you like that, Jake? Without wasting any time, let's dive into that data. Jake, take it away.
Yeah, you got me giggling over here. All right. To start off, we did a repeat of our specialty bar survey that we typically do about every 6 months or so. We basically ask about all of the specialty bars, and you tell us whether your interest is high, medium, low, or you don't know what it is. So I'll just quickly run down 1 through 11 from top to bottom, what was the most popular to least popular. So number 1, no surprise here, was the safety squat bar. Number 2, multi-grip bar. 3, hex. 4, curl. 5, deadlift bar. 6, squat bar. 7, camber bar. 8, buffalo/duffalo bar. 9 was bamboo/tsunami bars. 10, axle bar, and then number 11, sorry, strongman, but it's the log bar. And then compared to last time, so as I mentioned, we do this every 6 months or so. We did this in February. So overall, we saw a decent amount of interest go down in specialty bars. The only bar that was actually up in terms of rank was the multi-grip bar, and camber bar actually as well. But in terms of the change of rank, the safety squat bar was first in February. It was also the first in September. The multi-grip bar did go from 4th in February to 2nd this time around. So it did pass up the hex/trap bar and then also the curl bar. So made some gains there. And then other than that, there basically wasn't any other change other than the Duffalo/Buffalo bar dropping 1 spot. And then we have some additional questions before that. Adam, any surprises here?
In the previous one, the gain of popularity in the camber bar makes me think, like, were people thinking like a multi-grip bar with a camber? Because like just your general camber bar, it's hard to think that one would just grow in popularity. I should have mentioned that. I had the same thought. Yeah. And then like a squat bar being higher than like a Duffalo bar. If you've ever had experience with a squat bar and you're not like a super heavy squatter, they're quite cumbersome. I would much rather have like a Buffalo or Duffalo. I don't know about you. If you've ever put in like, a 65-pound squat bar on your back, it's not very comfortable.
Yeah, I think a squat bar sounds like a cool thing, but in reality, it's for those that are lifting more than 500, 600, 700 pounds. So it's for a really small amount of the population. I feel like Buffalo/Duffalo is at the bottom of this list because a lot of people haven't ever tried it. So if you haven't ever tried it, you're more likely not to understand the benefits or just like the difference in feel of something like this. I personally love it, and it's a great change of pace and just different than using a straight bar. And it's not something that I would have understood the benefits of until I tried it. So
same.
I think, like the deadlift bar, squat bar being closer to the top, they just kind of sound cool as well. So
yeah, I think we can agree, though, like the clear number 1 is what everyone said. It's the safety squat bar.
Yep. All right. A few additional questions around specialty bars. So number 1, speaking of camber. So is the camber worth additional money for multi-grip bars? So you could either answer yes, no, or unsure. So to begin with, I would say you'd typically spend another $30, $40 for the camber as opposed to just a straight multi-grip bar. The camber does allow for a little more
stretch, range of motion.
A little more range of motion, a little more stretch, easier on the shoulders. So again, it's not something you may realize the benefits until you try that. Nevertheless, 29% did say not sure. So 29 just don't know. 38% say yes, it is worth the additional dollars. And then about 34% are saying no. I'm a big fan of the Camber. It's just a lot easier to use. If you're using a straight bar, it's a little bit easier to like have a shaky grip as opposed to these Cambers, making it a little bit easier going up or down. Anything else to add here, Adam?
No, I agree. If you've used like a regular football bar or Swiss bar without a camber, it's a little awkward. That camber makes it super comfortable, and maybe it's just the bars that I've used, but I thought this one would be like a huge yes over the nose, but like a 30-30 split, that was surprising.
Yeah, it's pretty much a 1-to-1. Again, you pretty much have to try it out, but there's also a reason that you don't really see much. There's a reason that all of the new multi-grip bars coming out include that camber. Next up, so which rep bar release interests you most? So we asked about this back in January, before all of the bars were released, and then also now, after all of the bars have at least been for sale. So those results back in January were pretty much even for Open Trap Bar and SSB. So 36% voted for the Open Trap Bar, 35% voted most interest in the SSB, and then 29% for multi-grip. This time around, the gap actually widened, even though the SSB was the most popular in our survey earlier. The Open Trap Bar was easily number one with just under 44% of the votes, which was a 7% increase. The SSB received 32%, which was down about 3% from January, and then multi-grip down about 4%, all the way down to 24%. So everybody saw specifically what went into each product, and the Open Trap Bar was relatively easily the number one pick here, with just under 44% of the votes. Adam, which one are you going with?
I said SSB. This one again surprises me that there'd be more interest in the Open Trap. And then I started thinking like the Open Trap was like the last one to come out, wasn't it? So maybe it's like most people have seen the SSB and the multi-grip like in other people's reviews and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, I have some interest in this Open Trap. What's that all about? I still stuck with SSB.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
I actually voted Open Trap Bar. I have the SSB. I've been using it quite a bit, and it is very nice. I think it's easily the best value option on the market, and I think like I'm just very impressed with it. And that shows you how excited I am for the Open Trap Bar. I think like they nailed it with all their features, and I think it's kind of going to be in that same kind of area as best value Open Trap Bar. And I use my Kabuki one all the time, but that price difference is huge. Whereas like with the SSB, there's some other options that are in that same price range that'll do the job, as opposed to maybe that Open Trap Bar. So maybe that's where I can see why people voted for the Open Trap as opposed to the SSB. And then lastly, speaking of Open Trap Bar, I don't think we've asked about this or I've ever really seen feedback on this, but it's which trap bar style interests you most. So are you going to go with the Open Trap Bar or that traditional hex, or are you're not sure? But this one did get the results I was expecting, with about 70% saying they would go with that Open Trap setup versus the traditional hex, the closed hex, and then 11% not sure. I think most people within the community would pretty much agree with that, especially if you're able to get the Open Trap Bar to be balanced. Okay. So, which is what one of the key things that the new rep option should be able to do.
And yeah, they say it can be easily used as a traditional cambered bar as well. So that's interesting. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So pretty straightforward results. That's going to do it.
Cool. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's episode. Be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay involved on our social media sites by following Garage Gym Experiment and taking part in our Sunday surveys on Instagram so that you can be a part of these conversations. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and get involved in our website for all your home gym content needs. Jake, I got to ask, do you have anything else for the listeners?
Nope.
Not this time. Ooh, all right. Until next time. See you guys.